guys, Scott from Edge Lending Solutions. Hope you're well. Hey, today I'm actually coming to you from Bali. I'm doing some business over here, and what it actually is I financed some funds for a good client of mine who's building some Bali villas, and they're basically nearly complete, and we're talking about how he's going to market them for sale to probably Western tourists generally. How we are going to understand the financing, how we're going to assist in that for those sort of people who want to own, you know, a villa in Bali, either as an investment. The investment returns are pretty decent if you can get it right, but maybe it's just a bolt hole for someone who wants to spend a lot of time here, perhaps live here on a retirement visa. So we're also going to spend some time with a lawyer and maybe an accountant, so I might be able to bring you really some further insight into the actual mechanics of what it means to, you know, create a dwelling here, rent it out, or live in it, what that's going to mean. Is there any visa ramifications, good or bad? Anyway, all right, I'll talk to you guys soon. See ya.
Sorry to make you wait. Wait, we're not filming like something here? But no. It's straight.
Scott from Edge Specialist Advice. I hope you're all well. Hey, I wanted to talk to finish off the units that we saw yesterday. The 6 pool villa units. So they were 2-bedroom units. Pretty good. They're going to be pretty tidy. Look, they're obviously under construction at the moment, so it looks like a construction site. Like in a lot of countries, Bessa brick, so block is what's used. Tin roof, you know, angled roof, and you know, little private pool, 2-bedroom little villas. Probably all you really need if you're a couple or you're a young family, if you're going to be in Bali. The area is in Canggu. I would say probably 20-minute drive. Look, 10-minute motorbike ride normally, but with all the motorbike, if it's on high season, 20-minute ride on a motorbike because there's so many bikes around. You know, everyone's just, because this place is busy. This place is really busy. So, but had a look at those, understood where the position is. So the position is pretty good. It's nice. You know, there's all nice, reasonably modern construction around it, but also nestled in a little bit of rice paddy kind of land as well. So you look outside and there's all this green, beautiful green terraced sort of rice paddies, which gives you that real feel. And then there's some nice, you know, Balinese style construction, and there's palm trees and everything going on. A little bit out of where all the tourists are, which is nice, but basically roll down the hill on your bike in 6 minutes and you're pretty much into where all the tourist shopping is, and all the restaurants and all the things you wanted to get to. Have a surf, maybe 12 minutes on the bike, maybe 15 minutes, depends on which way you go and how fast you go. So not a bad position, and we went and spent some time, we talked about what it means to be a buyer of the end product, and I went to talk to the lawyers and understood the contracts, how that works, because like we've said before, in some Asian countries, not all, but some, you can't hold the land title free and clear like you kind of do in a Western country, even though the Crown land is really on your title as well. But it is a lease document, and the lease document is really a 25-year lease with a 25-year extension, with another 25-year extension, right? And they can be passed down through your estate. And so it feels very much like, and you can basically on-sell the lease. So if you said like, after 10 years I want to sell my condo, I've had enough, I've moved on, I want to go to a different country, I need some cash, or my family wants to sell it, and then you sell that lease, because in the lease agreement it has the right to sell it and transfer it to another buyer. And then they get to extend it out past the dates, which might be 2055 or 2060 or something. You get to extend for another 25 years and so on and so forth. And then it also says in there that there will be extensions will be granted pretty much from the owner of the land. So for all intents and purposes, it's like owning the land, realistically. I guess we just aren't used to that system in Australia, but it's probably part of the reason that it's not as expensive. It's not as expensive to get into. Some of the rental yields I'm sort of seeing around here feel like for a long-term lease, 12-month lease or maybe a 2-year lease, which is not uncommon. You might be looking at 9 to 15% net. But then, like if you're looking at say Airbnb, you might be well into the 20s, depending on how and who manages it correctly for you. Which there are teams over here who do that, which is really nice. Now, if you don't know Canggu, it's sort of beside Seminyak. It's busy. But I'd call it one of the Instagram spots. Full of very fit, young, healthy people, or not always young, but a lot of fit, healthy people on holidays, wanting to do Pilates, yoga, a lot of surfing going on, running on the beach, a lot of healthy food, a lot of vegan food, a lot of vegetarian food. Every second shop's a smoothie shop or something like that, so they've really embraced what I would call is healthy living and lifestyle, like really healthy lifestyle, because everyone looks super fit around here, so it's feeling a bit fat actually, but you know what? I deserve to feel fat because I have put weight on. I am fat at the moment. I've put even weight on the last year because I'm drinking too much lovely red wine from Australia. That's good motivation to be hanging around a lot of fit people because you feel bad and you get out and do a run. Okay, so don't be scared of that as well. So would I be happy to invest in this area? Obviously for the right project, for the right area, for the right money, of course. Would I be scared of the lease style system? No. Now that I understand it, no, I wouldn't be. I'd be pretty confident that could pass through to my estate. I know they wouldn't want to trade this property on sell it, but you never know. How does capital growth work in countries like this? Historically, not as good as say Western countries like Canada or New Zealand, Australia, but rental yields are much higher. You should be looking at what I would call a positive yield if you're borrowing your money in sort of Western type price, right? So that is the trade-off, and I think it's a fair trade-off as well, because something like this would form a different part of your portfolio. This would not be part of your growth portfolio. Your growth assets would be the real estate back in Australia, back in Canada, back in the UK, New Zealand. This would be one of your higher cash flow style properties, right? So what would you? Okay, so you're making positive cash flow. What would you do with the money? First off, you're going to pay 20 or 21% tax to around about that. It's not tax advice, but it's kind of what the number is. You've got to pay to the Indonesian government, and then you get a tax credit to the Australian government. Says, hey, I earned some money over there, but also pay some tax, so give me a credit, here's some income. So dual tax arrangement, right? Now you might send that money back to Australia so that you can pay down the debt that you borrowed against the asset. But with a high rental yield, you could probably estimate that maybe after 10 years that the asset's paid for itself. So if you thought you were going to live here, retire here, and you could get the right spot, well, maybe the thing would be to do it now. Maybe you're 50 like me, and that's next year. Maybe and you just look, I'm going to buy it now. I'm just going to rent it out for the 10 years. The rental yields are so high, I'm going to pay this debt down. By the time I get there, that I really want to be able to use it, I can retire. Maybe you also want the cash flow to come back to Australia to spend on your lifestyle. Maybe you let the cash flow pile up here, and when you're on holidays here, you just pull it out of the wall and your bank card, and you spend the money and flights, transfers, whatever you want to do. Maybe buy some gold here. It's Asia. Everyone loves gold. So nice to have some income-producing asset that is not in the Australian jurisdiction, that it is in a different currency, because it gives you a proper diversification and a proper hedge. Now, this would definitely not be right for everyone. I'm not saying that this is what everyone should race out and do, but for those of us who have thought about it, or people who have thought about it, I have been doing some investigations. You do know that I've investigated Thailand pretty heavily, and I've got a good hand on that. I investigated Mexico quite heavily as well, and now I'm here doing Bali now too. So that for people who come in and say, "Look, Scott, I love Bali. It's 5 hours, 4 hours, 6 hours from where I am. I love surfing. I love being healthy and fit. I want to go for runs and stuff. And cool. And Scotty, I want to buy either an investment property there, or I want to buy a little villa just for me to go and use. I'm going to do this hybrid retirement thing. I'm going to go and live there, because it's cheap, and I just want to do that, and I feel really great, and it's spiritually cleansing for me. I'm going to live longer. This is what I want." I was like, okay, we understand how to do that now. So anyway, guys, look, that's enough for me. I just thought I ought to wrap up on when we looked at the villas yesterday. Obviously, again, they're heavily under construction. They won't be ready for another 3 to 4 months, but they will be ready, and they'll be quite tidy. 2-bed pool villas, in a quite a handy central sort of area that is back off a little bit away from all the tourist spots, because even though you probably think you want to be where all the action is, you actually don't. You actually don't want to be with all the tourists from every country and, you know, all the heavy traffic of motorbikes and everyone's just buzzing around with it, you know. So you actually want to be back a bit, and you're here for a reason. You're here for a bit of a soul cleanse and a bit of a relaxation. You're here to extend your life, so you don't always want to be where all the buzz is. All right, that's enough from me, guys. Remember, life is a family sport. If yours needs, see ya.